And he had some problems this morning in practice. They actually broke their window in some sort of on-track incident and were able to get it replaced.
The hood came up and smashed his entire windshield.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate.
Matt Field is the higher qualified driver. He's going to be leading.
Nice initiation by Matt.
Pretty big gap going into that first corner, but Jhonnattan slowly closing that gap, coming around the big bank. You see him coming into the shade through the power alley. See how they both handle that transition. Matt Field loses the bumper.
And
Jhonnattan Castro still staying pretty tight on him. Coming across that last outside clipping point. Matt Field tags the wall but maintains drift through the finish line. So
that was a pretty good run.
run.
Both drivers laying down fairly consistent runs. Jhonnattan was a little behind on initiation but was able to close the gap towards the end. So I think this will be open for, see what this next run brings us. Jhonnattan definitely has become a little more familiar with that Z chassis and starting to come to grips with it. Seattle, not an easy track, and here he is in the top 16 for, I think, his first time in Formula D.
Yes, definitely his first time in top 16.
That's got to make him really happy.
Matt Field's only made, I believe, one or possibly two other top 16s in his career, so great to see new faces like this too. Unfortunate that guys like you, Kyle, and Tyler McQuarrie were unable to make top 32 this season, and seeing guys like Chris Forsberg get
top teams, and with any little bit of luck you can make a move. So both these drivers, I'm sure, hoping to have that opportunity getting into the top 8 or even greater. So
see this head-to-head matchup sponsored by Hankook Tires. Hankook Tires are the tires on Jhonnattan Castro's car. You can see one of the lovely Hankook umbrella girls off in the backdrop, but
looks like something fell off.
I think yeah, Matt Field might have lost a GoPro, but we're too busy drifting to care about GoPros. Here we go with Jhonnattan Castro lower on the bank than what we saw earlier. Some good smoke, tapping the brakes.
Ooh, that's going to be
that might be. It'll be interesting
out.
to see what happens. But Castro's going to continue through the course. See him finishing off the line. Matt Field lost drift coming out of that bank. I think what might have happened is I think Castro might have gotten hard on the brakes, and I think Field had to slow up to avoid hitting him. We're definitely going to have to look at this replay and see what happened.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the judges actually call on this.
Bye-bye GoPro.
Jhonnattan had a decent start to his drift, but came down right there, which ended up forcing him to brake and obviously affected Matt Field's run. So, from my standpoint as a driver, we always talk about this, and at that point, it seems like there's got to be a judging decision on what happens when the lead car slows down. But at the same point, Jhonnattan didn't really lose drift. I didn't see any brake lights.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no, we have that VLED's front brake light strip that's required on all cars. It didn't light up, but you definitely saw the rear brakes lock up, so probably catching the E-brake to add some angle or slow himself down a little bit to put him on the right line, which is allowable.
Yeah,
especially at this course, the way that goes. They discussed that in the drivers' meeting.
I think one thing they may have to look at here is the actual speeds. I know that there's all drivers have to be within a percentage of their qualifying run, so this will definitely be one for the judges. But both drivers happy to see him out there, Matt Fields and Jhonnattan. I'm sure happy to be out here in the top 16, representing their manufacturers and companies. So
yeah, again, Jhonnattan Castro coming from the Dominican Republic. He was a 3-time champion in the Dominican Republic. Decided to step it up, come over to the mainland.
Yeah, and bringing international sponsors too, which again showing just how big Formula D's gotten over the past few years.
Judges still talking back and forth, trying to figure out what's going on. We're just hanging out up here, Jacob Leviton and Kyle Mohan. Let's watch that GoPro again. Oh yeah, the GoPro was on the hood. Looks like didn't get fully attached. But the judges are seeing what you see live. So this is actually going up on the big screen here in Evergreen Speedway, and the judges are taking a look at it to see exactly what's going on.
You can kind of see Jhonnattan touch the e-brake there, but a lot of his slowing looks like it was more of him adding angle to the car to drop into the power alley. Matt Field seemed to be on a little shallower angle, which gave him that speed. So you know, as a driver, that's one of those really tough ones where it's definitely hard to be a judge. I think I might like to see that go one more time.
Yeah, you know, I think Matt Field had a great chase run.
Yeah.
Definitely was higher on the
You're right.
on the bank.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit of an advantage on that run.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think
maybe another advantage here to him because of the mistakes from Jhonnattan, or possibly they might go one more time because maybe they saw equal mistakes from both drivers. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's definitely tough when you know, there's a change in line like that. You know, as the follow driver, we're always told to follow the lead driver's line, and you know, Matt Field was following the lead driver's line there. So
unanimous decision has come.
all right,
Matt Field gets the win.
Obviously, the judges feel